Thank you, Professor. At the core of what you just said was the imbalance of power between the civilian population and the state. And we've seen some of the most disgusting and brutal uses of state violence against minority populations, specifically here in the United States. After the murder of Tyree Nichols in January, there were many protests in the United States demanding justice related to police brutality, as well as accountability for those responsible for those crimes. You've written before about your libertarian socialist leanings, but how exactly does that relate to your perspective on this new abolition movement, the defunding of the police, the potential abolition of the police, and things within that sphere?
Well, let's take the idea of defunding the police. That meant different things to different left activist groups. So you listen to, say, Bernie Sanders, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, many of the leaders of Black Lives Matter. What they meant by defending the police was removing the police from activities which are none of their business, leaving them to police activities. That means if you look at what police actually do, overwhelming majority of it is things that aren't police activities. Domestic problems, overdoses, all sorts of things where the community activism and involvement should be directly responsible. Police have no business there. So that's defunding the police. At the same time, improving police salaries, police training, bring them in along, make them part of the movement towards greater social justice. That's one interpretation of defund the police, and I think the right one. And if that can be, of course, the idea that you just eliminate the police is strongly opposed, particularly in minority communities, Black communities. That crime were communities that are what are called crimogenic, designed socially and economically so that crime is one of the only ways to survive. In those communities, in the short term, they want police. Better than that, they want to eliminate the crimogenic aspects of the communities. Well, all of these things should fall together in a, I think, constructive, progressive form of revising, reshaping security systems so that they're popularly controlled and direct to the kind of things that are of concern to people in the communities, not involved in things which require different kinds of engagement and involvement, things ranging from mental health to domestic problems to alcoholism, other things. None of that has to do with the police. Well, that requires major social changes. The United States, we have an enormous problem of lack of care for people with one or another form of problem in their lives. Could be enormous poverty. It shouldn't exist in the richest country in the world. Problems of depression. We have a country which is under such extreme social collapse that it's even, as you know, has an increase in mortality. That just doesn't happen among societies, except in times of war or pestilence. In the United States, it happens in peacetime and great prosperity, actual decline in mortality, mostly among white working class working class ages of mostly white males, not all males. That's a indication of social decay of extreme nature. It's only one aspect. There's no resources for mental health problems. They've almost disappeared. There never were very much. The punitive rather than preventive action policies towards drug use are another aspect. All of these things are illustrations of a dysfunctional social order, and the problem of police is embedded within it. The roots of the whole social disorder have to be dealt with before you can have a constructive, sensible discussion about the nature of whatever security is needed for the benefit of the community.
Thank you.